Open world games have become by far the top and most popular genre this generation. You're seeing more and more of them every year, and 2017 will be no different. In this video, we'll be counting down the top 10 most anticipated open world games of 2017. Let's get right into this. Number 10, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. Ghost Recon Wildlands is the latest ambitious project coming from Ubisoft, and with the way The Division turned out, it's wise to be skeptical about this game, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have a lot of potential. Ghost Recon Wildlands is an open world cooperative shooter with a gigantic and varied world to explore with several missions and point of interest to discover. The game is also playable solo, but obviously for the best experience you want to play with a group of friends. Ghost Recon Wildlands releases on PC, PS4, and Xbox One on March 7th.
There's a team in a small slice of Ghost Recon Wildlands' immense open world, and some things stand out more than others. One of the first things we were introduced to in Ghost Recon Wildlands was the portable drone carried by each ghost. Essential for scouting and strategizing, these let us fly freely through our surroundings, spotting and tagging cartel goons and getting a feel for their hideouts. While small and difficult for cartel soldiers to spot, the drones aren't invisible, and getting too close carried the risk of alerting the camp and giving our target a chance to escape.
Number 9, State of Decay 2. State of Decay was one of the more popular downloadable titles on Xbox in recent memory, and now we have State of Decay 2, which seems to be a step in the right direction in all areas for the series. It's set in an open world running on the Unreal Engine 4, and there will be cooperative play with up to 3 other players. Visually, it looks really good, and this could turn out to be a staple franchise for Xbox and Windows. We don't have an exact release date yet, but it is set for a 2017 release on Xbox One and Windows 10 PCs. Number 8, Agents of Mayhem. Agents of Mayhem is the latest game from the guys over at Volition, who are the best known for the Saints Row games, and Agents of Mayhem is actually set in the same universe as those games. And when you take a look at this game, the resemblance is obviously there. It features the same zany, off-the-wall style, and it's an open-world third-person action game. You have the ability to control 3 agents at a time among a total selection of 12, each with their own unique play style and abilities. Agents of Mayhem is set for a release this year on PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Right. Words, mostly.
Okay, most of the words.
Mostly words,
yep.
Symbols. Occasionally. So I helped inform the overall story of Agents of Mayhem.
Without giving much away, what's going on in Agents of Mayhem?
Agents of Mayhem is about this global fight between the agency known as Mayhem, the multinational agency for hunting evil masterminds, and Legion, the League of Evil Gentlemen, intent on obliterating nations.
Jeez.
Yeah, acronyms all over.
So Mayhem's an acronym.
Mayhem's an acronym. Legion's an acronym.
Number 7, Days Gone. For a long time, ardent PlayStation fans were wondering what Sony Bend Studios were working on. Those are the guys behind Uncharted Golden Abyss, as well as the Siphon Filter games. It was revealed to be Days Gone, an open-world chaotic action game where you fight hordes upon hordes of zombies. Now, the premise isn't absolutely innovative, however, it does look technically very impressive, and as long as the PS4 can hold up and offer a playable experience, this could turn out to be a very good game. The trailer also set a very dark tone for the game, so hopefully there's a good amount of storytelling as well. Days Gone will be releasing exclusively for the PlayStation 4, and while a release date is not confirmed, a holiday 2017 release has been speculated. Number 6, Escape from Tarkov. Escape from Tarkov is renowned as one of the most ambitious upcoming PC games. It's a first-person shooter with RPG elements and MMO features while also being a story-driven game. Yeah, it's trying to do a lot, and based on the footage we've seen thus far, it seems to be making a lot of progress. Visually, it looks outstanding, and from a content perspective, it seems to be fleshed out in all areas. Games such as this always get our hopes up. Sometimes they disappoint. Hopefully, Escape from Tarkov does not.
Fucking murder you!
Number 5, Nier Automata. Nier Automata has been announced for a while, but recently it seems the anticipation for the game has reached an extreme high. Maybe that's due to the excellent demo that released on the PlayStation Store, which by the way, if you haven't played that yet, you definitely should. Regardless, many are excited for the open world action RPG being released by Platinum Games and Square Enix. The gameplay is fast paced, the music is great, hopefully the storytelling is up to par. That's definitely not Platinum's strong suit, but considering that this is Nier, I would hope for the story to be good. We'll find out on March 7th when the game releases on PS4 and PC. Number 4, Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn is possibly the most anticipated upcoming PS4 exclusive. It comes from one of Sony's core studios in Guerrilla Games, and while they made their name with the Killzone franchise, Horizon is a far different game, being an open-world action-adventure title. It's set in a world dominated by mech-like creatures, and you play as Aloy, a hunter that has been sheltered from the outside world all her life, but now she sets out to discover the dangers and secrets of the world. The gameplay seems to have a lot of depth with different weapons being available. You can play with some stealth, set traps, etc. And technically, not enough good things can be said about Horizon. It releases on February 28th exclusively for the PS4.
Gotta move.
Number 3, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The Nintendo Switch's release is quickly approaching, and the game that most gamers have their eyes on is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And rightfully so. Zelda has been one of the standard bearers in all of gaming. The consistency and quality is some of the highest you'll find in any game series. Breath of the Wild is raising the bar in nearly every area, from the phenomenal visuals, the expansive open world. This is shaping up to not only be a great open world adventure, but one of the best games of 2017. And with this making the Switch's launch, there's a lot of reason to be excited for Breath of the Wild. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild releases on March 3rd. Number 2, Mass Effect Andromeda. Mass Effect Andromeda falls in line with several well-established franchises that this generation are moving into an open-world setting. We've seen a lot this generation, and this is the latest, and Mass Effect in an explorable open world sounds very exciting. So far, what we've seen of the game has looked phenomenal. Hopefully, the story holds up with the game going open world, because that sometimes is an issue. But let's have some faith in BioWare. And while Andromeda does take place in a brand new setting with brand new characters, you'd be foolish to think if no callbacks to the previous games would be made. The release to Andromeda isn't that far off. It releases on March 21st for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Before we get to number 1, here's some honorable mentions. Crackdown 3, which is releasing on Xbox One and Windows 10 PCs.
Destruction and mayhem. It's not just what you can do with a gun. It's the opportunities you can create with destruction.
Gravity Rush 2 coming to the PlayStation 4. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, which is on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Prime, which is available on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Finally, number 1, Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption was widely considered one of the best, if not the best game on last generation platforms. It had a fantastic story with an engaging Western world, and now after 7 years, we're finally getting a follow-up in Red Dead Redemption 2. And even with such little information out about the game, it stands out as one of the most anticipated titles of 2017. Now that Rockstar has the new consoles to work with, the possibilities are really endless, especially given what they were able to do on last-gen consoles with Grand Theft Auto 5. We do know that an online mode will also be available, so that means free up your calendar for this one. Red Dead Redemption 2 releases this fall for PS4 and Xbox One. So that wraps up our countdown of the top 10 most anticipated open world games for 2017. What do you think? Which open world games are you the most excited for? Is there a game that we forgot to mention? Comment your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.